कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमती भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनीति नामिनी नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणी निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणी जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे रामा राम रामा हरे हरे. So today we are covering chapter number 2, slok number 12. So a little background before this shloka. So we are seeing that Arjun, he is in grief and Lord is smiling. So why Arjuna is in deep grief? He is in intense sorrow because he feels that his relatives will die. So that is why he is actually in a deep sorrow. But seeing that Lord is actually smiling and he's giving him some relief by speaking the absolute truth. So you see here, uh, he's in deep sorrow that his relatives from the other side and his guru, all they will die. Not only that, from his side, many people will die. So that is why he is in intense sorrow. But you see in Kali Yuga, people are in grief even for their living relatives. They are in deep sorrow even for their friends, their relatives. Do you agree that? Prabhuji's Mataji's?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. So Arjuna, he was having this issue because he was thinking his relatives will not stay forever. But if you see in Kali Yuga, even for our living relations, we are in grief. Why? Because there are multiple reasons. Some may not getting better positions, right? Better jobs or getting better alliance for their marriage. So one of the incident that happened sometimes back, one of my uncle's son, actually, he was not getting a job. And after a lot of effort, he got one job. He got into this software industry and he was working there for many years. And then after some time, when I spoke to my uncle about his progress, so he was saying that, yeah, it is all fine, but still he is not satisfied. So when I asked what happened, so he was saying ki things are not happened as expected. So what was the expectation? The expectation was, since he got into the software industry, the expectation was he will go abroad and work. So that was the expectation. And since he was not able to go abroad and work, so his father was not satisfied. Similarly, we see every day in newspaper students who are lucky enough to got into IITs, IAMs, they commit suicide. In some second year or third year, they commit suicide. Why? Because of some stress or less performance. So we never show any gratitude. Ki whatever we have, we never show that gratitude. Instead of, that we are running after things, we are never satisfied. And one thing we have to realize that ki finally, after one day, we have to leave everything. Even if you don't get detached, So Bhagavad Gita is talking about so much of detachment, right? So to practice detachment, but we don't want to detach from any material pleasures, but we don't realize that one day, by the power of Maya, anyway, the things will get detached. You see that uh, a relation between the kids and parents, right? A kid is intense sorrow. He is in intense sorrow that my parent is suffering. He is suffering from disease. He is suffering from old age. He is in deep sorrow, right? And on the other side, the parent is also in deep sorrow. Why he is in deep sorrow? My son is not getting a proper job. My daughter is not getting married. So you see, in this Kali Yuga, even the living entities, they are in intense sorrow. So what to talk about Arjuna? He was actually thinking about his all relatives will die. That is why he was in intense sorrow. So because of all this sorrow and fear, God told this shloka, chapter number 2, shlok number 12. So one thing we have to remember, whenever we have fear, and you see in Kali Yuga, most of the time, if you see, we have fear, right? So as we know that this fear, then greed, these are the biggest miseries of our life. So everything, why we are in distress of because of all this fear and greed. So, but in Kali Yuga, you see that most of the time we are in fear. So even if you see the psychologist, they are talking about people lose more because of the fear, not because of the greed. So that is true ki when you are greedy, you will get into deeper problem. But when you are in fear, the chances of losing is more. So we have to remember ki whenever, so all the time we are in anywhere we are in fear. So we have to remember this shloka. So what is this shloka? ना तु एव अहम जातु नासम नातेवं ना इमे जन अधिपा ना चा एव ना भविष्याम सर्वे वयम अतः परम. And what is the translation? Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Never there was a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor all these kings, nor in future shall any of us cease to be. Any Matajis or Prabhujis want to read the slok?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Kalyan Mataji, you
Bhagavad
get
Gita
right?
2.12. न त्वेवाहं जातु नासन्नत्वं नेमे जनाधिपाः न चैव न भविष्यामः सर्वे वयम् अतः परम्. Translation by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Never was there a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor all these kings, nor in the future shall any one of us cease to be. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you, Mataji. So you see all this theory of Big Bang Theory, right? Big Bang Theory, we have learned this when we were in the school days, then the theory of evolution. So these are all Mayavadi principles, right? And you see here in Bhagavad Gita, Lord himself is saying, he is there since time immemorial. And even Jiva exists since time immemorial. So it never happened. So now all you see this Big Bang theory and theory of evaluation. it talks totally different assumptions. Right? Everything happened with coincidence, and there is a theory of evolution. Earlier we were monkeys and then we evolved. So all these theories, we categorize that into Mayavadi principles. Because you see that Lord himself is saying this. There was never a time that he is never exist, and there was never any time that Jiva was not existing. So it's like that. You see sun, we see sun every day, sun is setting, sun is rising. So when sun set, does it mean that it is not available? If it is setting, then when we are seeing it is setting, right? But it is rising somewhere else. And not only it is rising somewhere else, it is having the same temperature. The temperature of the sun, we know, right? How powerful it is. So in simple terms, Lord says ki I am existing from infinite time. We cannot say that ki there was any starting or any end of his existing. And similarly, we have to understand this. Even Jiva is existing from long, infinite time actually. But you see that we are simply worried for small and very pretty things. Now let's compare the life of or the age of Brahma with our age. So let's say ki here is Brahma's age and we divide Brahma's age with our age. So what will be the result? What do you think will be the result? So if you divide that, it will be some 0.000. How many zero? We'd never know. Right? So it is very, very small. Forget about Brahma's age. You take Brahma's one day and divide it with our age. Still you will get the result as 0 point something. So our life, we have to understand, is very, very small. And what we are actually building in our surroundings, right? Not getting this, not getting that. And we are not satisfied. We are not satisfied with things even after knowing that the life is so small and everything will anyway go away from us. And you see, Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur, he said one thing, and that thing is very dangerous. So he was saying once that, okay, we are doing bhakti, that is well and good, very nice. But this Anya Abhilashita, you have seen that very important sloka, right? Anya Abhilashita Shunya. So he was commenting on that, this Anya Abhilashita, that it desires other than for the service of Krishna. So, or you can say ki anything. So all our desires are this material desires, right? So if we desire anything other than Lord Krishna, then how dangerous it is. Anya Abhilashita. So it is just like he is comparing that, just like the worms in the stomach. We know that worms, if worms are there in the stomach, what happens? However, how much we eat, but our weight will not increase. So every day in the morning, first thing we have to realize that ki we are Atma, we are not the body. And people may think ki every time we are discussing the same thing, we are Atma, not the body. But we have to make our conscious realized every morning about this. Otherwise, what will happen is ki what this Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur is saying, right? Ki even you will be doing bhakti, intense bhakti you are doing, but you will go back to this material things and start doing desires. Then what will happen? It will just like insects in the stomach. You are eating, but you're not gaining any weight. You're not gaining any energy. You will not get any energy because everything the worm is eating inside your stomach. So the condition of or the effort of what you are doing in the bhakti will be just similar to that. So that is why he is reminding that it is very dangerous, right? So every morning we have to realize this, we are not the body, we are the soul. So now Lord is saying Arjuna that you are having this sorrow that your Guru Dronacharya will die. Bhishma Dev will die. But in any case, you should not repent. So you see this thing like this Mayavadi, right? Mayavadi, at one time, the people will merge into some Brahmajyoti and things like that, right? These are the Mayavadi principle. So, and then he says ki what will be the condition of these jivas? They will one day they will die and they will actually merge with Lord and there will be no difference. So this is again this kind of Mayavadi principle is very, very wrong. So Lord is saying Lord will never have the loss of knowledge or absolute truth. Right? What it means? That means his memory. So you see that in memory of a computer, right? So some part of the memory is staying in RAM and some part of the memory is there in the hard disk. So what is the difference in whatever memory or data is stored in RAM, it will get vanished or lost the moment you switch off the computer. But whatever is stored, whatever data is stored in the hard disk, it will remain. So like that, the condition of Lord and Jiva. So Lord will never forget anything. He will not have any loss of knowledge also. But Jiva will have. Right? The moment we will die, we will forget everything. That is the reason why Arjuna is actually repenting. He is not realizing that actually nobody will die. If you think you are a body, then you will think that you will die. So now one may also say that then why even Lord is born to Devaki. Lord, we are also celebrating the Avirbhav and Tirobhav. So we have to understand these are all Leelas. And one question also you may ask that. So in fact, let me ask one question here. So please think and tell the sun's temperature. What according to you, it is more in the morning or in the afternoon?
It is the same throughout,
Yes.
but we are
Correct.
perceiving it differently.
Yes, yes. So you see that the temperature the temperature of the sun is same, whether you say in the morning or afternoon. But people say ki morning the sun temperature is less, afternoon it is more. So what actually it is? So even when we say sun is rising or sun is setting, so what do we think that sun is a seed that it is growing up? So that is why the temperature is rising, or sun is setting down, that means it is having a death. So this is, so similar thing is you have to compare with Lord and Jiva, right? It will exist. Now we have to also see the difference. There are few more difference, which is very, very important. And then you see the sun is rising, sun is setting. This is one thing. Then we also see that sunset at sea beach. So when we are seeing that the sun is setting in the sea beach, we think that the ocean is actually eating away the sun. So you see that the sea water, it is not even warm, but we are seeing that the sun is actually getting inside the sea, but the sea water is still the cold water. So the whole point is we have to remember this. Whatever is visible is not the truth. The sun is still exists. Even the demigods, people are worshipping demigods for different material needs. We have to remember that even the demigods will not live forever, but the God will exist forever. So when I say that demigods will not live forever, you will ask me a question. But you just said that Lord exists forever, even the jivas are existing forever. How come demigods will not live forever? So demigod, when you see, the demigod is a position. So that position may not be there in future. Brahma's position may not be there in future. Somebody else will take it, because these are the positions. As we see in the office, there are managers. Managers are not one people. He is a post. So today one manager is there. Tomorrow somebody else will replace him. So jivas, there is only one duty, and that duty is to spread Lord's pastime. We may take birth as a man or we may take birth as a woman. It doesn't matter. The object is only single, to spread Lord pastime. You see, in this material world, there is nothing that there is no material which can actually please you or satisfy you. Because what is the reason? Because we are a soul, right? And soul, only one thing can satisfy, and that is bhakti. So many of you might have already realized it, and people who are who are new into the bhakti, they will slowly realize that there is no material thing which actually can satisfy you other than bhakti. The simple reason is we are soul. So, like this, there are many things which can actually prove that we are soul, not the body. Right? Now you see the relation. Right? Lord have relation with every jiva. But very important thing we have to understand here is we jivas are not related to each other. See, now every second we are fighting to establish some kind of relations or some kind of positions. But just imagine this, ki jiva, they themselves are not related, though they are infinite, they never stop existing. Still, we don't have relationship with each other, but we all have relationship with Lord. So you see, it is not bidirectional, it is only unidirectional. That is, Lord will have relation with every jiva, but jiva among themselves, they don't have any relation, not even present, not in the past, not in the future. It will never happen. That is why we should not repent. So today, we are so attached to our parents, we are so much attached to our kids, we are so much attached to husband, wife, but we have to remember this, right? And the moment we see that they are detached, we get into the sorrow like this, the intense sorrow. What to talk about this non-existing material pleasures? When it get detached, we are so much in sorrow, right? And then we see that many people, they say, Ki, I don't want to live. They do all sort of drama. I'm fed up. I don't want to live. It's kind of a drama. And one step further, people do suicide. So we have to remember this. Never do suicide. Because if you do suicide, you are thinking, Ki, I will actually seize all these miseries. I will commit suicide. I will seize all these miseries. It will stop existing. Na rahegi baas, na bajega basuri. But actually, you are giving more punishment to you if you are doing suicide. You will see people eating gulab jamun. They are relishing that. But you will not be able to. You will see that people are doing that. But you will not be able to do that. Why? Because there will be no gross body. The moment you do suicide, we think ki we end our life. But actually, you are only losing your gross body. So you will repent more. So you see, the soul is death proof. You cannot kill it. So another interesting example of this raincoat. What happens when you wear a raincoat and you go outside under, and there is a lot of rain? Huh? You cannot get drenched, right? You cannot get wet in the rain. Why? Because you are waterproof. So now you imagine when you took birth, you are crying, right? Everybody. So at the time of birth, we don't realize this. But after you get some maturity, we know that when we took birth, everybody was crying, right? This we properly know that. There is no doubt about it, right? Only one person who was during birth who was laughing. Who was that? Prabhuji's Mataji's? In birth, we all cry. There is no doubt about it. Nobody can say, ki, oh, no, no, during birth I was laughing. But there is one person who was laughing during birth. Who was that?
Krishna.
Only Krishna was
His
laughing.
mother.
Only Krishna was laughing, right? So we were all crying. And what was happening? People surrounded us during our birth and they were laughing. Now you think when you are crying and others are laughing, how you feel? Just imagine how you feel. You are crying because of some pain, right? But instead, everybody is seeing that and they are saying Hari Bol. You are taking birth, you are crying. Everybody is saying Hari Bol. They are laughing. So at that time, we did not realize that all were laughing. But now we can imagine. Now we can imagine we have to take birth again, and then this four biggest miseries, right? Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi. So that when death comes, we have to try to remember Lord instead of being fear that, oh, my death is coming near. It happens, right? When Corona happened, the pandemic happened, everybody was intense fear, right? Oh, now I'm gone. The moment somebody affected with Corona, okay, it is my end now. Is intense fear. What shall I do? People get tense, right? So there is one incident. in that what happened, there was a husband and wife. Okay, and husband said his wife, ki you make few chapatis, few rotis. I'll just come back in 10 minutes. So I have some work. I'll just come back in 10 minutes. You make 12 chapatis. Once I finish my work, I'll come back and then we'll eat. And suddenly what happened? This husband got heart attack. So husband got a heart attack and the body was in front of the wife. And this wife was crying like anything. And some saint person just passing by there and he started giving relief to her, saying that. So initially the saint person was asking why you are crying, and then she started saying, see, my husband left. And then this saint person, he asked, why you are crying? His body is still there. Why you are crying? So you see that why it happens. The body is still in front of you, and you are crying and saying, my husband or my wife left or my relative just left. Why you say that? But the body is in front of you. And when the body is there, the person has left. You immediately you don't bring him home, right? He just take him and you burn the body, do all the rituals. Why is that? But you are not believing that we are soul, right? So after hearing that, why you are crying? The body is there. And if you think that you are a soul, he has left, but he will not stop existing, right? Then why, what is the point of crying? So after hearing this, she got little relieved. And then you see this example of Migari, right? He used to slit throat, kill the animals, and he used to earn. And once Narad Muni, when he saw that, he told him, stop doing this. And he started saying, if I leave my profession, how I will survive? Like that, many people in our life, we say, right? If I leave my job, leave my profession, how I will survive? And once Prabhupada said this, one's source of income is not the source of maintenance. And it is very important thing. Just think about it. Make a note and think about it. The source of income is not the source of maintenance. You see, 84, we are saying 84 lakh species. It is not, we are saying it is written in all the Shastras, right? 84 lakh species are there. Only human are actually, we are doing the job, right? And we are running after so many things and saying, if we don't do this, how will survive? How I will maintain my family and things like that. You see, so many animals are there. So the whole point is, we have to remember that actually it is the Lord who is making us, who is arranging all the things. Otherwise, there are so many rich people lying in the bed. So much money is there, but they are not able to eat. They have everything, but they cannot eat. Why? Because they are in different disease. They are suffering from different disease. They cannot eat. So people lament for their near ones. So what happened once? A old person died, and his age was 96 years. And when he died, his son got shock. His son was somewhere in 50s, and he got a shock. And in that shock, he got heart attack. He got a heart attack. So just remember what will happen If somebody's small kid dies, a person who already is aged 96-year-old died and his son got heart attack, he could not able to bear that shock. He got heart attack and he also died. But that old man was already 96-year-old. Many people actually, because of sorrow, they stop their jap mala. They stop doing mala, they stop doing bhakti because of sorrow. They say, ki, no, I mean, what is this? Lord is not in favor of me. Lord is not there. Lord does not exist. So people stop doing bhakti. They stop doing japping mala. So the whole thing is, even after hearing this shloka, why we should live, lament. And Shravanam is the most important thing. We should never stop doing Shravan. That is listening to all our Maharajas, all our senior devotees. We should not stop doing that. Because for self-realization, it is very important to keep ourselves in bhakti, to get free from all these lamentations. You see this iron, what happened if electricity is passed from this iron? There is a, let's say, a big iron block, and you start passing the electricity from this iron. What will happen? Mataji, Prabhuji, any guesses? What will happen if electricity is passed from the iron?
You'll get electrocuted, Prabhu. You have to keep.
It will get heated, right? It will get heated. So, the more you hear, the more you will become Krishna consciousness. So, we have to remember that. We have to always, every day. That is why it is saying, ki, try to start the day with some realization. Self-realization will happen only through Shravanam, Kirtanam, right? Remaining day. So this is the bhakti is the most important. Remaining all your material work, you may say ki, for living I have to do my profession or this and that. But we have to start the day with Shravanam, Kirtanam. We have to, it is very important for self-realization. We will get activated, right? Otherwise, if the bhakti will die, we will lament like Arjuna. We will lament like people who, for small things, they will commit suicide, they will be always lamenting. So, whatever is happening, it is happening for the bodies. Our relatives, our friends, they will always exist. And these relations, clearly the shloka is telling us, these relations will never exist in future, past or present. It is just made by us. Only relation is with Lord. Lord is He is arranging everything. Don't think it is our skill, it is our intelligence. We are making so much assets. Otherwise, see, a person who is selling the newspaper, doing so much hard work, right? He's not so much rich. But some persons are sitting, working 1 or 2 hours, making millions. Some people are without working anything, they are making millions. And they are claiming it is my intelligence. So we have to remember this. Everything is the arrangement of Lord. And He is having the relationship with us. Otherwise, there is no relationship even within jivas. Today and tomorrow it is going to stop existing. We should not lament because no one is going to die. So don't worry about it. Since we have taken this body, these 4 miseries will be there. This Janma Mrityu, Jara Vyadhi, this fear, all these things will come, but we have to go back and read this shloka again and again. So that is about this important shloka, very, very important shloka, because everybody is suffering from fear in Kali Yuga. Every day we are suffering, and we are suffering only because of fear. Losing our assets, losing our relatives, losing our health. So we have to go back and do Shravana. So thank you, Prabhuji and Mataji. Any questions you want to add? Anything?
Thank you, Prabhuji, for a wonderful explanation.
So hope this makes sense.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you for joining. If there is no other questions, we'll just end up and we'll join tomorrow again with another important shloka. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhu eva cha patitanam pavnebhyo vaishnavabhyo namo namah. अनंत कोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, भगवद गीता की जय.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Then for every.
Hare
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Tanvat Pranam.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna to all devotees
Krishna.
of the world here. Hare Krishna.
Join tomorrow again. Hare Krishna.